Alright guys, so IPR laws with me Kabir and we have Shivaarti Bajaj, co-founding managing partner of RSD Bajaj Global Law Firm. इतना सारा आपके नाम के आगे लगता है. Aren't you happy about it?
No, I'm just happy about the length of my name.
Okay, I'll tell you something. When I was in school and college ना, तो ऐसा होता था कि कोई बंदा ना अगर एक कोई पर्टिकुलर लाइन बोल देता था ना, जैसे एक लाइन थी, अब तो बहुत फेमस है, पर मालूम नहीं हमारे को पहली बार मिली थी, एक बंदे ने बोला था चमत्कार को नमस्कार. तो मैंने बोला कि डूड ये तो बड़ी अच्छी लाइन है, मैं यूज करूंगा. तो उसने बोला बेटा इस पे ना ट्रेडमार्क है, यूज मत करियो. So now you know what we are talking about, trademark. What exactly is a trademark? क्योंकि ना होता क्या ना, rights, reserved, trademark, copyright, लोगों को लगता है ये एक ही चीज है. So what is trademark?
Trademark, Kabir, is a branch of intellectual property rights. Now that we are doing a whole intellectual property rights, we're dwelling into what they are. So trademark is a type of intellectual property right, which in a very simple...
Sorry to pause. So it is a subset of IPR.
It is a subset of IPR.
Achha. Please.
Like IPR has various subsets, like we covered earlier, was copyright, trademarks, you'll be dealing with patents, designs, GI, so on and so forth. So in a very simple way, trademark can be understood as a mark of the kind of trade you're doing. Right?
Achha.
It can be a picture, it can be a logo, it can be a phrase, it can be a slogan or phrase or a mark per se, or just the word mark. This is what trademark is, and it in the current age it is holding a very great value in terms of how it is helping identify with a brand. Like for example, Red FM. Right, the way red is written, the color combination of white and red,
Achha.
that in itself constitutes the whole trademark of the brand.
So it's the identity of the
brand.
Brand
Yes.
in sort of identity. यानी
Absolutely.
काफी चीजों में.
Absolutely.
Or if I talk about Britannia and ting ting ting, that audio.
So now in the current scenario, trademark is extending to domain names, sounds, like we say websites, right? redfm.com, correct? That also needs, people also now trademark that as a thing. Because ab domain kya hota hai? Domain name is basically an IP address. Right now IP address could be any numeric value or alphanumeric value in that case. But to mask it with a trade name would be constituting a trademark.
Achha.
So that is how it is now trending, now coming up as a market practice in terms of protection.
So
for a lot of clients also, we advise that you should go in for these kind of
umbrella trademark.
umbrella
सब कुछ कर लो
yes,
भैया.
yes.
बाद में
Something like what Google does, right? Like Google has the word google.com. It has the word Google with a lot of wrong spellings, with a single O, double O, something like what Facebook does. If you type facebook.com and instead of the K, if you type L, that also opens to Facebook. So although that's link redirection, but Facebook has taken that just as an example. Yeah.
Okay. So is it necessary?
As per law, it is not necessary to register a trademark, right?
अच्छा.
But it is
यानी आप
always
बिजनेस कर सकते हो अगर
आप
आपके पास
start
ट्रेडमार्क
कर
नहीं
लो
हुआ तो.
अगर आपके पास अपने नाम, but it is always better. Now why I will tell you that is there's a principle of infringement versus passing off.
Okay.
Suppose you have you have a nature of work, okay, that is XYZ, right? So we might call it Kabir Red, okay? Kabir Red you have not trademarked, but you've been using it. Somebody else has also been using Kabir Red, right? But the other person has registered it, you've not registered it. So जिसका trademark registered होता है ना, उसके पास एक superior right हो जाता है, which is known as the burden of proof.
Okay.
कि अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि you have used my trademark, so you establish कि burden of proof किस पे आएगा वो establish करने के लिए. अगर कबीर ने अपना ट्रेडमार्क रजिस्टर कराया हुआ है एंड कबीर फील्स कि अरे मेरा तो सपोज अमित ने मेरा मार्क यूज कर लिया, राइट? तो अमित का ओनस होगा प्रूफ करना कि मैंने कबीर का मार्क नहीं यूज किया.
सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द फैक्ट दैट your brand identity is yours. आपकी आइडेंटिटी आपकी है. इसके अलावा what are the benefits of registering a trademark?
You mean say other than getting your
other than कि भाई लड़ाई झगड़े नहीं हुए, चलो ये हमारा ही है.
IPR by design is a right which excludes you, excludes others from using your product.
Okay.
Or your whatever you've IP'd, right?
The identity which I
so
have.
it gives you the exclusivity
अच्छा.
for a particular mark that okay, this mark belongs to Kabir. It gives you the proof of validity that ये जो legal proceeding में what we discussed कि prima facie ये आपका ही है. अब सामने वाले को आके proof करना पड़ेगा नहीं, ये आपका नहीं, ये मेरा है. So which is a great heads up in terms of your protecting your brand, and it helps you in cross border enforcement sometimes if you have registered your brands in other countries. Basically आपकी goodwill बनती रहती है, और उस goodwill की एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जाम्पल हमने देखा है wherein people traded for security concerns, security against bank loans and all that, because it has a goodwill.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So
it is a
are
very
you trying to tell me
famous case of the Kingfisher logo, wherein the beautiful hummingbird was kept, the goodwill of the brand, a loan was taken against the goodwill of the brand.
So what you're saying is that the owners kind of went to the bank कि भाई साहब ये जो woodpecker है, ठीक है, जो हमारे लोगो पे होती है, ये हम आपको दे देते हैं, आप इसमें हमें लोन
the brand, the logo, the goodwill attached to it.
Wow.
So suppose if Kingfisher gives away its brand and they give it to me or you to use it freely, like they pass it on, then that whole gambit of goodwill becomes the person who it is assigned to. So it is one of the most important assets, if I can say, to a business, because business is about identity a lot of times, right? So you're protecting the way your identity is perceived. You cannot maybe touch or feel it, but it is how it falls in the market as a...
Will it also apply to musicians around the world? क्योंकि जो बड़े bands होते हैं, ठीक है ना, because I am like knee deep into music, and that is also a brand. Those bands are actually brands at the end of the day.
Correct.
For example, आपका Foo Fighters, Nirvana, या फिर
any name, है ना? Any name for that matter. It's so it can be a name, it can be a logo. As he said, it can be a picture. It can be a certain way a word is written, like the way red is written. Is only the way red can write it.
अभी latest में क्या हुआ है? There is this electronic music duo from France, if I'm not wrong. Justice नाम है उनका. तो जिस तरीके से उनका नाम लिखा होता है ना, Justice, और जस्टिन बीबर का नया एल्बम आया है मेरे ख्याल से जिसका नाम है Justice, एंड जो फॉन्ट है ना
उस पे कंटेंशन चल रही है
तो इन लोगों ने तो केस कर दिया है, जस्टिस ने केस कर दिया कि जस्टिन बीबर कैन नॉट यूज ये हमारा वो उसके, और मान लो आपको जो फॉन्ट फैमिली से होगा, यानी कि मेरे को लगता है वो एग्जैक्टली जस्टिस जैसा नहीं है, उसके आसपास कहीं है.
करेक्ट. that is for the courts to decide, right? That is for the registries to decide like how they want to perceive it, because there are a lot of factors that go into a well-known mark when once it's come into the market.
Can there be like two people with the same kind of trademark but different category? कैसे बताऊं मैं? नाइकी जूते बनाता है.
Different nature of work.
हाँ, नाइकी जूते बनाता है.
ट्रेडमार्क सिमिलर हो.
हाँ, नाइकी जूते बनाता है. मैं नाइकी वड़ा पाव बनाऊंगा.
हाँ, that's a very intelligent question because it falls on the principle of test of similarity. कि what is the test of similarity? It is a very famous principle for trademark, for prosecution and examining trademark applications. कि similarity है क्या? As you said. What is similarity? It is a very ambiguous question.
It's a very vague term, yeah.
हाँ, कि so उसको establish करने के लिए there are a lot of things that go into it. कि same class में है या अलग class में है, एकदम ही nature of work अलग हो गया दो चीजों का. But if you have enough proof and enough reasons to establish how different you are from a particular similar mark, then you may have your boat sailing and you get your mark registered.
You mean to say I can actually open Vada Pav by the name of Nike? Probably. I don't know. Test of similarity.
I'll tell you what. If it is as big as Nike, it is not possible.
उन लोगों ने सब कर रखा.
Because this falls under a very famous fund of well-known marks. जब आपका mark इतना well-known हो जाए कि इतना deep चला गया market में वो कि
social life में
whatever you do will remind you of what it is. in reality a shoe or sports company, then in that case it will be very difficult for an application to sail through.
There's this coffee shop called Sardar G Baksh. Earlier it was called Sardar Baksh. Sardar Baksh Starbucks वालों ने केस करा, फिर वो केस काफी लंबा खिंचा विचा और अब उन्होंने अपना नाम सरदार जी बख्श रख लिया है. So it is the same thing that you're talking about, right?
Yes. This is where the test of similarity and amongst other things comes into play. Similar, there was a similar case for Bharat Pay and Phone Pay over the word pay, because the nature of the business for both these models, apps was similar, which is fintech. They are fintech, enable payment, scan your QR code. So it's the same. And Phone Pay had an issue with Bharat Pay copying the pay and also being from the same field of business. So this is a very contentious case.
So the case is still going on?
Yes. Huh? And I mean now Phone Pay is most likely.
Yeah, Ismail sir ka hai na, Bharat Pay, doglapan.
So yeah, in all probability now they are Phone Pay is taking back their suit. But I mean I'm just highlighting the kind of interesting things that keep coming up.
This is so very close, right? Like both of them are
same line of business,
same kind of work, yeah.
Same line of business, same fintech space. पैसे पे
और पे की स्पेलिंग भी ऐसे नहीं है कि
it's PE. So that is the whole. Similarly for Paytm and PayPal also.
PayPal and Paytm.
Right.
That's huge.
Right.
Paytm.
So when Paytm started in India, PayPal is an international similar business model. Started by the likes of Elon Musk. So they had a case going on Paytm for the color combination of blue and white. The way the first syllable was written,
when
P,
you talk about
right?
it now, I can't
and
remember.
also to include the word pay. So these were the baseline issues, and that's how it went to and fro in court.
Honestly, Shivaarti, मेरे को actually अब याद आ रहा है क्योंकि मेरे पास एक बहुत पुराना पेपैल अकाउंट था, बिकॉज मेरे किसी दोस्त को कुछ रुपए भेजने थे, वहां से बोलते हैं तेरे पास पेपैल नहीं है. Earlier it was like that. But if I
know I don't deal in dollars.
Who cares about dollars? Bitcoins. No, but interestingly because अब मुझे जो याद आ रहा है ना, तो Paytm और PayPal में काफी similarities visually तो हैं.
Correct. Similarly, there was another one for Burger Singh and Burger King. It got a very long drawn battle from 2014 onwards like that. But basically the crux of the matter was Burger King is an international chain like we all know. And Burger Singh was started by a gentleman based out of Ludhiana. I mean, obviously it was basically an Indian chain is what I'm trying to say. And then Burger King, when they entered India, they had a problem कि Burger Singh को कि तुम कैसे मतलब
तुम यहाँ कैसे,
इनको कहते हैं phonetically similar marks, sound भी same है, area भी same है,
Burger King,
एरिया ऑफ वर्क भी सेम है, लिटरली सेलिंग बर्गर्स.
जो आप टेस्ट ऑफ सिमिलैरिटी
जैसे आप कह रहे हो सरदार बख्श और स्टारबक्स वाला सिमिलर. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स यहाँ पे आपकी ट्रेड मार्क की वैल्यू क्या एक इंच काउंट होता है. जैसे इस केस में इट वाज एस्टैब्लिश कि बर्गर सिंह एक वेल नोन मार्क बन चुका है मार्केट में बाय द टाइम बर्गर किंग केम इनटू प्ले. बाय द टाइम बर्गर किंग केम, they said कि आपने नॉन यूज किया हुआ अपना मार्केट रजिस्टर करा के इतने सालों से. So these are the kind of things, these are the kind of things that come into play. So, and it's very interesting because your brand value lies on this.
Absolutely.
A lot of, in terms of valuation, a lot of goodwill lies on trademark for that matter. Not only in terms of a mere right, it has got a lot of monetary value also.
So if you have to conclude, TM for us.
Yes.
It will be like easy 3-4 lines, and it can be applicable to musicians, brands,
anything,
D2C brands.
Yes.
नए startups हैं.
Right.
कुछ लोगों के businesses ना शिवारती अभी शायद रेवेन्यू इतना बड़ा नहीं हो रहा है. They are just Instagram pages. कई लोग हैं जो सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं Instagram के थ्रू, उनके लिए TM.
The whole new age economy.
Yes,
I mean, we work very strongly in that, right? So we come across a lot of such thing, and D2C brands ki, we can say in a way their trademark is a huge backbone for them. Because now if 10 people are selling you the same thing, आप उसकी brand जो उसने effort किया है उस नाम के पीछे बनाने, कहते ना नाम बनाना मुश्किल होता है,
Absolutely.
तो ट्रेडमार्क इज नाम बनाना. उसने जो नाम बनाने के पीछे जो पैसे, एफर्ट, टाइम लगाया है, उसकी उसको वैल्यू तो मिलनी चाहिए. उसको उसकी वैल्यू लेने के लिए उसको ट्रेडमार्क कराना चाहिए.
And just a closing remark from you, how expensive is it? Because see, it comes down to money. At the end of the day, अगर मेरा business चल भी रहा है तो भाई कितने रुपए डालने हैं मुझे TM कराने?
No, that's strategically a very good question, Kabir. Because I feel you should get the trademark from day zero.
अच्छा.
On multiple fronts. Firstly, the new policies by the government are really pushing IPR a lot in terms of trademarks and getting. They have literally halved the fees, less than half also in a lot of cases for MSMEs, startups, individuals. आप अपने नाम पे ले लो trademark. Your fee is way lesser. 4,000, 4,500 is an amount you can risk अगर आप एक चीज में आप establish कर रहे हो. So it comes down to a very nominal amount of service fee, right? And you must get it because आप वही तो बना रहे हो, आप अपना brand ही तो बना रहे हो. And this is actually adding a lot to the story of India being Atmanirbhar Bharat. The vision that has been given to us as a country, which is great because as we see in the current times, being Atmanirbhar will provide a lot of support to everybody. आपकी external dependency खत्म हो रही है और अगर आप value create कर रहे हो उससे, तो आप सोचो कितना important होगी ये चीज, जो इतना लंबा impact है. It's a long impact game and I feel everyone should get their trademark registered on day zero. I have no doubts about it.
So I'm gonna go and register at least my name probably. I'm not Badshah, but Shivaarti Bajaj, ladies and gentlemen, co-founding managing partner of RSD Bajaj Global Law Firm. Can people pester you online? आपका Instagram है, Twitter दे दो. Twitter है आपका?
Yeah, sure. I mean, but I would like to give the email ID.
Sure.
I mean, Twitter is by obviously my name. It's very difficult to find, my name. So Twitter, of course, my name Shivaarti_Bajaj and
Shivaarti_Bajaj.
Shivaarti Bajaj.
Okay. Just
I
search.
think at Shivaarti Bajaj.
At the rate Shivaarti Bajaj.
So that and the email would be rsd@rsdbajajglobal.com. If anybody has any sort of questions, our team will be happy to address it. And
brilliant. So if you are if you found this podcast really interesting, you have few more questions. आपको लगता है मैंने वो questions नहीं पूछे हैं, so might as well send that email. Email भेजने में क्या जाता है, free में है वैसे भी आजकल, right? All right, cool. I think done.
Thank you.
This is done.
Thank you, Kabir.
Pleasure.